May is nearly upon us in Splatoon 3, and that means a whole new month of activities to enjoy in the game. May is looking to be a pretty busy month for players in the game. A lot of major events will be occurring. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at everything that you can expect to happen in Splatoon 3 in May of 2023. So let's jump right into this. Starting us off from the 1st of May until the 5th, although this technically actually starts on the 28th of April, so you do have a little bit of this to enjoy at the end of April too, is the Splatfest Preview. And like you've probably come to expect with previous Splatfests, you'll be able to start earning those conch shells so you can get free shell out machine pulls. And also you'll be able to vote for which team you're going to be going with for the Zelda Splatfest, which will be happening later on. You'll also start to see stuff appearing in the plazas. It's just generally to get you excited for the Splatfest. It's of course not as exciting as the actual event itself, which I am really looking forward to this time, but still, I always like the previews. It's a good time to level up your catalog and get lots of rewards for doing so, so generally I definitely recommend playing a lot during the Splatfest preview. But of course the main event itself will be taking place on May the 5th until the 7th. This is the Zelda Splatfest, which so many people are excited for, myself included. You will have 3 options to choose between this time. These options will be power, wisdom, and courage, so you can choose whichever you prefer the most. And like you can see from this poster, it also gives you an indication of what the ink colors are going to look like as well. This will be the most major event happening in May, so I definitely recommend playing. It'll be a good time to level up your catalog and generally just get some good experience in too. Given how highly anticipated this Splatfest has been, it's really hard to say which direction this is going to go in. It honestly could go either way, so just choose whichever team you like the most, honestly. With Tears of a Kingdom itself being so highly anticipated as well, I reckon a lot of people are going to be playing this Splatfest, and it really seems like it's going to be one of the most fun yet. As far as I'm aware, Nintendo hasn't really made any changes to Splatfest since the last major update, so everything here should be pretty familiar and you won't have too many surprises in terms of the gameplay. But something new that is really exciting is the new tricolor map for this Splatfest, which happens to be a version of Scorched Gorge that has been transformed into a Triforce. And this is probably the most excited I've ever been for a Splatfest map because it's so cool. They've actually made a legitimate modification to it rather than some of the more subtle ones we've seen for the other tricolor maps. This feels much more akin to something like a shifty station than what we've been getting with our previous updates, so this is really cool to see and definitely puts this Splatfest above all the others in my opinion. Keep in mind that we may literally never see this version of Scorched Gorge again after this Splatfest ends unless they do a repeat of it, so I highly recommend that you play and make the most of it whilst it is still here, because who knows, we might never see something as cool as this again in terms of tricolor turf war maps. Of course, this will be the last Splatfest of the fresh season, so just in general, I definitely think it's worth playing. You can spend some time leveling up your catalog and getting all those nice rewards too. So definitely make sure to take part in the Splatfest when it happens on May the 5th until the 7th. Now this one is still up in the air a bit, but it's very possible that another special Salmon Run event will take place sometime in May. We just don't quite know when yet or if the event is guaranteed. As you probably know, back in April, Nintendo debuted the first Eggstra Work event, and a lot of people participated and enjoyed this new style of playing Salmon Run. Well, when introducing the update patch notes that brought this event to the game, Nintendo did say there will be 1 or 2 Eggstra Work events during the fresh season 2023. So with it being 1 or 2, that would highly indicate that it's very possible we will see another Eggstra Work event happen in May. However, this statement from Nintendo is pretty vague honestly. It doesn't guarantee anything, which may suggest they haven't really planned that far ahead yet. Since Eggstra Work was totally new, maybe they were waiting to see just how well it would go down with players to make sure there weren't any issues and such before they fully committed to adding one sometime in May. So currently, as of me making this video, we really don't know for sure whether they will do another Eggstra Work event in the fresh season, but it certainly does seem very possible, so I would be prepared for the possibility that we will see another. As far as I'm aware though, currently in the files of the game there aren't any different rewards other than the Salmonid stickers that we got for the first Eggstra Work. So unless they plan on repeating these again for the next one, which I honestly really doubt, then it seems like they would have to release another update if they want to add in more rewards for players to get, that is if we are to see an Eggstra Work at all. Although we may actually have some good news in that department. As for the next thing that could be happening in May or very late April is another update. Now Nintendo will practically have to add in another update to the game if they want the Splatfest stage to work. There's currently no data for the Scorched Gorge tricolor map, which means a new update patch that will add in this data will need to come before May the 5th. And very well, they could also use this update opportunity to add in a new type of reward for the next Eggstra Work event. I think when we see that update, it'll be a good indication of whether this event is actually going to happen or not in May, and if we don't see any new kinds of rewards, then personally I think it's pretty unlikely that we'll see another one of these events in the fresh season. Either way, don't set your hopes too high for this update patch. It will most likely just add in the data for the next coming Splatfest map, and maybe some more Eggstra Work event rewards, but aside from that, I really don't think the update will have anything too interesting in it. That will be saved for the next major update in June. Now, speaking of the end of the fresh season, which May of course is, there will actually be a new special event happening right at the very end. Nintendo has confirmed that there will be a new closeout bonus sort of mini event right at the end of the month. You can earn more catalog points than usual during the week before the end of the season thanks to a special closeout bonus. I think this is honestly a really great idea which will give people a much better opportunity to complete their catalogs. I know a lot of people do struggle with this, whether they've had enough time or motivation or whatever reason they possibly may have. So honestly, I think this is a really good little mini event that will hopefully encourage people to play a lot whilst we wait for the new update to drop and a new catalog to release. Nintendo has definitely made it so there are a whole ton of events going on in Splatoon 3, which I think is really great. There's a bunch of variety so you can enjoy all kinds of different modes, and hopefully they're planning to add even more things like this in the future so we can see even more types of bonuses and such for playing. So yes, if you don't manage to complete your catalog during the Splatfest, don't worry, as it won't be your last chance. You will have another go during this closeout bonus, if we're talking getting a lot of experience at once, that is. Finally, as I mentioned, May of course will mark the end of the fresh season, which means that during this month, Nintendo will start to tease what the next update will be about. Now, this technically isn't something going on in-game itself, I know, but I thought I would still have to mention the fact that May will likely be packed full of all kinds of update reveals of what we can expect to see in the future. A lot of people hoping that we'll finally see something like League Battle be added to the game, which of course has been teased for ages and has been confirmed will be coming back at some point. But regardless, throughout May we can definitely expect to see Nintendo share new catalogs, new weapons to collect, new pieces of gear, and of course 2 new maps to enjoy as well, and I'm sure all kinds of other features and updates that'll be really exciting. So I'm definitely looking forward to May, even just outside of the game, because it should be a pretty promising month to see what Nintendo has in store for the future and the upcoming Sizzle season, which will start from the 1st of June. But let me know what you're most excited for in the month of May in Splatoon 3, I would love to hear. If you made it to the end, then be sure to comment Maygang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more. If you want to support my content, consider becoming a member by clicking the join button or the link in the description. You can get some exclusive perks for doing so, like emojis, a badge by your name, and you even get featured at the end of my videos.